Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Gavin Reshaw Presents. I wanted to take this time to speak about something, and I wanted to know, uh, especially in the current climate that we're in, is there such thing as second chances? Joe Mixon, the running back for the Oklahoma Sooners, has been in the news lately because the draft is coming up, and he was on video punching a young lady who, prior to him punching her, she did assault and grab on him. Now, I don't in any condone what he did. In those situations, I tell young brothers, especially, the proper thing to do is just walk away and get away from the situation. But I think there's a double standard in place where we expect our young men to be treated to act a certain way around young women, but women are treated completely differently. And being a woman, and especially when we live in a society where we tell men never to put their hands on the women under no circumstances, there are girls, and we just need to be honest, who take advantage of that situation, and they use it for whatever agenda or for whatever motive that they have, they try and get something accomplished. And you know and I think that in relates as it relates to our topic, we have to decide what we're going to be as a nation. Are we going to be a nation that be a nation of opportunity, or are we going to throw and cast stones at each other for anything we've done in our past? This happened in 2014, which we all knew based on the reports what happened. We didn't have to see the video. We didn't know all of the specifics, except he did assault her and she did assault him. I believe his attorney I think I know the brother who was the attorney. I can't think of his name at this time, but he had stated that she did touch him first, and he had asked her to leave him alone, and she didn't. And he just, when he was walking away, if you saw by the video, he still punched her. Now, and allegedly she spat on him and called him a nigger. That's what he said happened. So I don't know. There's no audio. Of course, she denies it. He says that she did. I don't know. But I'm relating it in regards to a story I read. New England Patriots last week stated that they are removing him from their draft board. So they don't want to even consider him as of this incident. And other teams, they're talking about it and about not having him. ESPN was talking about how the Patriots are setting an example on First Take about following suit. And I find ESPN, first of all, should not be the news network to talk social issues. Number one, they're sports commentators. They should stick to sports. But I want to talk about this issue as it relates to domestic violence and Joe Mixon. And I don't condone a man putting his hands on any woman, but let's be honest. There are double standards in our country. We saw it with Hope Solo when she assaulted her nephew and her sister. Nobody was calling for changes with the soccer leagues here in the United States. No one was calling for her to be banned from life from soccer like you see with Ray Rice, what you're seeing from Joe Mixon. I find that the New England Patriots also are the biggest hypocrites because you all had Aaron Hernandez on your team who's committed murder. You also had Dante Stallworth, who was drinking and driving and killed somebody, and this happened prior to you signing him. You also have the brothers, Malcolm Floyd, who you signed, was under the influence while he was driving. So I find a lot of this comments about not hiring Joe Mixon or how he shouldn't be given an opportunity very hypocritical. Uh, you know, we are a nation where we call ourselves we call the United States the land of opportunity. And if we're going to go and cast stones at everybody or at one person for something that they did, and this goes to Bob Stoops as well because he threw Mixon under the bus. I think he's a hypocrite. You knew the information and you gave this man a 1-year suspension. He got suspended. That was the punishment you sought. The Oklahoma State police, the district attorney, they looked at the evidence, they looked at the video, they thought, for whatever reason, he was a first-time offender. They didn't see jail time necessary, and he got a suspended sentence. I don't know the whole details, but he didn't go to jail. Okay, here's the point. There's a lot of people who cast stones at each other, and they got some skeletons in their closet, and I'm sure they wouldn't want it to be brought out to the world. You know, I find it very interesting, especially when Floyd, for instance, on ESPN, when they were talking about Floyd Mayweather's domestic violence history in the middle of the fight he had with Manny Pacquiao, which we all knew about, and it happened 4 or 5 years ago. So I find it interesting that you bring up all of the past of these black men, especially someone like Mayweather, who's making the biggest fight, or what was it, although the fight was wasn't all that, but I found it interesting that they would talk about that as a whole segment on Outside the Lines, that it would talk about actual sports and about the actual fight. You didn't hear anything about Manny Pacquiao's past being brought up, about doping allegations, about income tax fraud, or his alleged affairs, with women, even though he proclaims to be a Christian, and he's had children out of wedlock. I don't know the whole deep. I've heard that. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But you don't see stories about that. You don't see articles being written on the Huffington Post about the UFC fighter that raped his girlfriend and almost killed her. You didn't hear ESPN talk about it. You don't hear other news articles from like the New York Times. I don't know who the name of the company is that wrote this article, but the headline had Joe Mixon is the running back the New York Giants that they want but should not take. Basically highlighting, and I didn't read the article, but I know for a fact it had to do with what happened while he was at Oklahoma. And my point is with this video is that, are we going to be a nation that's going to cast stones at each other, or should we just look up everybody else's skeletons, open up everybody else's closet and see what skeletons lie in there? And I don't think anybody wants that. What he did was wrong, no doubt, but this was 3 years ago. He got punished by the school. I think that my whole thing is, why is this now being an issue 4 or 5 years later? We're bringing up something. If he had been dismissed from the school then, I don't think anybody would have questioned it. But now, because the video is released, you want to now say, oh, I was light on him, or we should hang him and crucify him. This is the nation we've become. And, social media, while it's a good platform, it's been used for good, it can be used for bad, and it can end a lot of people's careers in a heartbeat. Just saying the wrong thing, saying what somebody, you don't agree with somebody, people can cast you as a hater and bigot, or, you're anti this, anti that. Everybody wants you to be what they want. And you got to be what you want, what's in your heart. So I just needed to rant about that. But as an attorney, I believe in second chances. I think that he should be given an opportunity, personally. But, let's stop throwing stones at each other. Let's start, and let's see, if we're going to go down that road, let's see what skeletons lie in your closet. So that's all I had to say. This is Gavin Reshaw Presents. I needed to vent on that because that story was just interesting to me. Y'all take care. God bless.